The football team looked to bounce back from a tough loss.
We will see if they are now bowl eligible. OwlSports Update starts right now.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of OwlSports Update. I'm Lindsay Bittler alongside Kyle Fisher. Coming up on this week's show, we talk to Fran Dunphy about what he does off the court.
But first, we hit the gridiron to see if the Owls could beat the Ohio Bobcats. There's nothing like a midweek helping of college football. The Owls traveled to Pendon Stadium Wednesday to take on the Ohio Bobcats in a pivotal Mid-Atlantic Conference Eastern Division matchup, with the game being nationally televised on ESPN. Then Temple fans still found their way out to Ohio to cheer on the Owls. Early in the first Ohio ball, quarterback Tyler Tettleton drops back and hits Dante Harden on a 25-yard TD pass. Ohio up 7-zip. Temple's first drive, Chester Stewart, with some confusion here, he calls a timeout, and that's actually the last you'll see of him. The team decides to go to opening day's third-string quarterback Chris Coyer, who steps in and proves it was worth it here with a pass deep to Rod Streeter. Touchdown, 7-7 your score. Heading to the second half, tied at 14. Coyer with a run, but he fumbles, recovered by Ohio, and leads to another touchdown, 21-14. Coyer again running the ball. He fakes the handoff, and he manages to fake out our cameraman. Big gain down the sideline, leading to another touchdown for the Owls right here. Pierce doing what he does best, bouncing to the outside, all knotted at 21. Temple up 24-21 after a field goal, but Tettleton doesn't like the sound of that. Passes it downfield, big conversion on 3rd and long. Coach is trying to give the troops some motivation out there. Back to Coyer again, and he hits a wide open Deion Miller in the end zone with under 5 minutes to go. Temple up 31-28. Doesn't last long though. Tettleton drops back. He looks, rolls to the outside, and he passes it down the field deep to Dante Harden again, his second TD of the game. Temple can't hold on. Your final score, Ohio 35, Temple 31. On the injury front, Bernard Pierce had to leave the game late in the fourth. He looked very shooken up. Hopefully he is okay and soon. The Owls are now 5-4 overall, 3-3 in the MAC, and that's a problem. The Owls come home for their final 3 games of the season, 2 of which are against MAC opponents. Although it seems like a bleak scenario, they still do have a chance to win the MAC East. Temple would have to win all 3 home matchups, and Ohio would have to lose 2 of its final 3 games. Not something I would bet on, but there is still life. Football is a rough game, and its players often leave the field with bumps, bruises, and a variety of other injuries. The staff that gets them back on the gridiron often go unnoticed. OwlSports' Laura Meminger looks into the hard work of Temple's dedicated athletic training team.
As a fan, most just want to see their favorite players each week, but few realize just how hard it can be to keep them on the field. But that's where Dwight Stansberry and the athletic trainers at Temple University come in.
You have to be observant out on the field, see what they're doing, see how they're moving, see if they're favoring something, and then go check on them.
As head athletic trainer for all Temple sports, when a player gets hurt during a game, Stansberry and his team become Temple's first responders.
Whenever anybody gets hurt, we're the first people there. We are the ones who see them on the field, see what actually is happening with them, and then make a determination if they need to go see a doctor.
For these trainers, being first on the field during an injury means witnessing some scary moments.
When we've had those types of injuries, they've all been fine afterwards, but that's a scary thing when you're dealing with something where it could be a traumatic change to somebody's life. But as far as it being scary when it happens, no, it's not until afterwards that you realize.
But for Stansberry and just about anyone else who does this job long enough, there is the real chance of seeing tragedy up close.
I've been the first person on the scene twice when people died. Both times I was these guys' age. I was a student trainer, and that was scary.
Even though Dwight is in charge of all Temple University varsity sports, he spends most of his time at his favorite sport, football.
When you walk in the door here, I don't know what I'm going to see. Any day of the week, it's going to be different. You've got to be ready for anything. You're going to use everything that you have ever learned in taking care of a football team.
Thanks, Laura. To basketball now, Coach Fran Dunphy is known for what he does on the court. But it's what he does off that's making a true difference. Dunphy dedicates his time to countless charities, including the Ronald McDonald House.
Yeah, it's important to coach your team, but it goes far beyond that. If you can help other people, then I think that's why you have the job. And that can mean your own school community. When I was at Penn, University of Pennsylvania for 17 years, that's what I tried to help as best I could. And now I'm trying to help the Temple community as best I can. I am helping the Ronald McDonald House because there is a lot of unfortunate things that happen to people. Some of us can give time, some of us can give money, some of us can give our support in any way that we can. Ronald McDonald House does a great job with their charity. But I see kids in wheelchairs, I see kids with diseases that, you say to yourself, how strong and how tough and how courageous are they? I get inspired by that. So every time I see somebody who's not quite as fortunate as me, just smacks you in the face and you say, don't even think about you, because life is not about you. It's about this young lad, this young girl who is fighting a difficult set of circumstances. We'll just share experiences, my sense is. And will I tell them about my team? Yeah, but that'll be from one or two folks. I think some of the others just want to talk about themselves, and I'll be there to listen. My old man many years ago taught me that if you're invited somewhere, you be damn sure you go there, because somebody wants your attention and your time, and you make sure you get there. Again, my job is to coach my team, but my job is greater than that as well. I think I have to be available for people. I'm the luckiest guy I know.
Coach Dunphy will also be using his facial hair to benefit a great cause. He'll be growing back his famous stash to benefit Movember, a cancer awareness and fundraising campaign all based on the growing mustache.
When OwlSports Update comes back, we'll take you to Giese Field to see the field hockey team's dominating performance in their home finale.
And in the nest this week, we're on the watch for yet another football award winner. Stay tuned.
Here we go. What? What?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent, because kids in foster care don't need perfection. They need you.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Welcome back to OwlSports Update. The field hockey team can now boast it's got the best offensive player in the Atlantic 10 Conference. The conference announced Temple's Bridget Settles as the A10 Offensive Player of the Year. This season, the senior forward is ranked nationally in scoring and has scored more than half of Temple's goals. The home finale was no exception. The Owls played in their home finale against Liberty Flames in the Play for the Cure game. Liberty's goalie Ann Jeffries made multiple big saves to stifle the Owls' offense. They could just not seem to get the ball into the cage. But the A10 Offensive Player of the Year took over big time in the second half. She scored not one, but this is her second goal on the day, giving the Owls a 2-0 lead. With little time remaining, the Owls capped off the win by sealing the goal by sophomore Tori Cox. Temple shuts out Liberty 3-0. The team's next challenge comes with the A10 tournament. The Owls are the third seed and will play the second-seeded UMass in the first round. The winner advances to the conference title game against either Richmond or LaSalle. These games are all played at St. Joe's.
The women's soccer team also closed out its season. The A10 named senior forward Nikki Kahn to the second all-conference team for the fourth straight year. Kahn has led Temple in scoring. The Owls closed their season against St. Bonaventure. The weekend's inclement weather left the Ambler Sports Complex unplayable, so the game was hosted at LaSalle University, but Temple still was able to celebrate Senior Day. Parents of 5 Temple seniors showed their support on the field with their daughters, but we will get right into the game in a moment. Temple's goalkeeper, Temple's goalkeeper Tara Murphy is put to the test early and makes an incredible save here. The Bonnies outshot the Owls 21-7, but the teams ended in a stalemate. Resulted in the only tie for Temple's women's soccer so far this season.
The Owls knocked off Duquesne 1-0 courtesy of Carly O'Toole's penalty kick in the 68th minute. Goalkeeper Tara Murphy recorded the shutout for Temple, her 4th of the season. Murphy has the most shutouts in a season by a Temple goalkeeper since 2006, and we'll be sure to see her later on in the show in the Nest. On the men's side, the soccer team split its weekend road series. In their first contest, the Owls couldn't find the net and fell to Duquesne 2-0. In the second match against St. Bonaventure, the Owls were playing a man down at the end of the game when sophomore Nolan Hemmer broke the 1-1 tie with the game winner in the 86th minute. Temple wins 2-1. Our volleyball correspondent Seth is in the newsroom in his OwlSports debut.
Seth, what's the latest?
Volleyball's new head coach, Pakir Gagne, has brought in new energy to the team and hopes to improve from last season's 4-25 record. A true new test for the Owls came when Big Five rival LaSalle took a trip down Broad Street. Temple wasted no time getting on the board here with an excellent serve and an even better defensive stop by number 16, Gabriella Matatuia. LaSalle tried to find their best in the opening for Temple's defense, but while they were doing this, Temple's Alicia Burke takes the victim on that kill. And the murders continued into the night as Gabriella with the silent but deadly slam there. The Owls took the first 2 sets, leaving the Explorers searching for a way to stop the attacks. Just when you thought the Owls would sweep, LaSalle finds their offense and evens the sets up 2-2 with the slam right here. Into the 5th set we go as Gabriella is at it again with the game-winning kill as the Owls claim their title as the Broad Street Bullies, defeating LaSalle 3-2. And Temple went back to McGonigal Hall 2 days later to take on the St. Louis Bulletins. The first set for Temple was a back-and-forth battle with the A-10 powerhouse, but they fell 25-21. The rest of the match would be a different story, however. After putting up 21 points in the first set, the Owls would fall in 2 straight sets, 25-14 and 25-10, losing the match 3-2. After splitting the weekend, the Owls are now 7-17 overall and 3-8 in the conference. The Owls will look to respond in their upcoming A-10 matches against Fordham and Rhode Island. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Seth. So, Kyle, we see all these seasons wrapping up, but there's another season that's starting soon, and that's basketball.
I know, I'm so excited. I've decided to skip the playoff beard altogether and just go for a whole season beard. I'm going to start growing out right now. You see some coming in right there?
You should have started about like 10 years ago, Kyle,
10
because
years?
I don't really see anything.
Can we just go into the nest already?
Into the nest we go. Kicker Brandon McManus gets his gets honored for his punting ability. McManus has been placed on the Ray Guy Award watch list, an award given to the nation's top collegiate punter.
And women's soccer goalkeeper Tara Murphy earns A-10 Player of the Week honors after recording back-to-back shutouts. The 2 shutouts give her a total of 5 for the season, which is the most by a Temple goalie since 1995.
Temple lacrosse coach Bonnie Rosen will be honored by the Friends of Jacqueline Foundation on November 5th. The organization exists to improve the quality of life for children battling brain tumors. Rosen will be honored for her long-term efforts to help those children.
That's all the time we have on OwlSports Update. For all the latest Temple news, head to www.owlsports.com.
For Kyle Fisher and the rest of the OwlSports team, I'm Lindsay Biller. Thanks for watching and have a great day.